Hi everybody, I'm Stefan for cgtutsplus.com, and in this tutorial we are going to take a look on how to create some camera rigs inside Cinema 4D and how we can animate our cameras. So as you can see, we have a simple scene right here, and I'm going to create a new camera and turn it on, and I'm going to create a new object that as you can see by default is going to be created in the center of our scene. So that's our new object, and after that we are going to create a circle, and because the scale of our scene is a bit small, I'm going to reduce the circle radius to 4 and change the plane to XZ in this case. And now let's select our camera, right click, go to Cinema 4D tags and align to spline tag, and after that right click Cinema 4D tags and choose a target tag, and turn on our camera, select the align to spline tag, and right here on the tag you can see spline path. Just drag the circle there, and as you can see our camera is aligned to the circle, and if we move the position you can see how our camera moves, which is not the effect we are looking for. If we click this option here and play with the camera, you can see how it looks like. And let's turn the camera on. But let's say we want our camera to face the center, and we have some screens here and stuff like that. So let's turn on the camera, select the target tag, and just drop the new object to the target object. And as you can see, now let's select our camera and scale it down, and as you can see our camera faces the center right now. And if we select our new object and move it up or down or left and right, you can see that it controls the camera. Also we can't select the camera and just play with the position because it's linked to the spline, and basically we can play only with the Z rotation, I think. And if we try to play with the other settings, we can do anything. So how we zoom out the camera? We select the circle, go to object, and just play with the radius, and this will make the camera zoom in or zoom out. So let's turn on the camera and see, for example, what camera move we want to do. First of all, select the new object and move it like so. Then select the circle and set the radius to 6, and select the circle and move it on the y-axis. And as you can see, what this does, let me zoom out. What this does is makes the camera move up and down. So let's turn on the camera and probably set this to 5, and let's say we want the camera to start from somewhere around this point. Very quickly rotate and go down, rotate slowly around the center, and go out very fast. So let's see how to do that. First of all, set the position to 0 and probably we can increase the radius to 8 and go to the align to spline tag and hold down Control and click on the position to set a keyframe and move 15 frames forward and set this to probably 30 or let's say 35 maybe, and set a keyframe. Then go back, select our circle and click on the radius, which is 8, move 15 frames forward and set it to 5 maybe, or 4, and set a keyframe. Then come to the coordinates of the circle, come back to the first frame, set a keyframe for the Y position, move 15 frames forward and just let's say set it to 2 and set a keyframe. And now come to the first frame and probably we can set this to 8. Come to the first frame, select our no object, set a keyframe for the position of the no, and now we can tweak it. So we want something like that. Let's set this to 0, set a keyframe, and probably play with the camera and set the camera to 15mm to get some nice effects. And we can set the circle radius to 2 in this case, and probably reduce the position and the radius. Let's set the radius to 4, and basically what we have is something like that, and we can play with the no object. And let's see how our camera looks like. We need to tweak the circle some more, probably set the radius to 3 and here set the radius to 5 and probably set the position to 5 or 3 as well. So we have some nice rotation, and here we need to set this to 2 maybe and set the position to 1, and as you can see we have some nice rotation. And let's animate the rotation some more. So 35, let's rotate it to 50 here, and let's change the position of the circle to 0 for example, or -1, and let's see if we can, let's make it 0, and let's play with the no object. Let's keep it 0 at this point, and probably we can play with the circle size, but we are going to keep it 2 for now. And let's see, animate the rotation of the position of the align to spline tag, set a keyframe at the end, select our circle, set this to 5 and set a keyframe, select the position and probably move it up like so. Set a keyframe, and let's see our animation right now. As you can see, it's very cool animation, and we can select the camera and set this to 18 millimeters, so it's not super wide, and we need to play a bit with the curves. So let's hit Shift F3 to bring up the timeline and go to curve mode, and as you can see, here are our curves and we need to tweak them a bit. So let's select this and this and make it like so. Select our no object, we don't have any animation here, and now let's select the circle and go to the position or radius. We have a very small animation here, and the difference is not that big, but we can zoom in, excuse me, and tweak the settings, as you can see, and let's repeat the same for the radius. And let's close the timeline and see the animation, how it looks. And we can select our camera and go to the coordinates, set a keyframe for the Z rotation, come here and set the Z rotation to 6 maybe, and set a keyframe, move to the end and set it to -6, set a keyframe, move here and set it to 0 probably, and set a keyframe, and we can select our camera and let's see what we have animated so far. The rotation, we need to tweak the rotation curves as well. So let's zoom in and close the timeline, and let's see the animation now. And why this happens is because we move from 0 to 6, and because we played with the curves, so let's just Control Z a few times to see if this is going to solve the problem. And we need to bring the timeline again and probably select the rotation and delete the keyframes, and let's do it again. So set this to 0, set a keyframe, come to frame 15, set this to 6, and then to -6, and as you can see, it moves to 6 all the way to 354 instead just 96. So for example, we can start at 12 for the first frame, come here, set this to 10, move here, set it to 2, and at the end set it to 0, and set a keyframe, and this is going to solve the problem of our animation, as you can see. But this is only one thing you can do using the target tag and align to spline tag. For example, let's turn off the camera and if we take a look at our circle, we can change the plane to ZY, for example, and this way if we animate the camera, it's going to move like so because of the plane of our circle. As you can see, the plane of the circle looks like so, and when we animate the camera position, it moves like that. And we can change the plane as well again, or we can play with the rotation of the circle, as you can see, to get some really nice effects. And with the position as well, and ton of cool things you can do with this technique. Also, you can do something very interesting. Let's turn off the camera and reset the coordinates for this circle, and let's create a new circle and make it 5, and let's select our no object and let's click align to spline, and let's call this target circle, and we can link our target no object like so, and increase the radius of this circle, and this way we can animate the camera in a different way. So it might not work for this scene, but the idea is that you can make the camera follow a target object, which target object is linked to a spline path, and you can animate it using the align to spline tag. And as you can see, here is our no object, and when I move the position of the spline align to spline tag for the target object, the camera follows it. And for example, let's bring up the timeline and delete all the keyframes, and let's just test it if it's going to work. So let's set a keyframe here and make it like so, and set a keyframe. Come back, select our align to spline for the camera, set a keyframe, and move to the end, and just move it. And if we turn on the camera, basically this is the effect that is going on, because we have our target object moves and the camera follows it because it's linked to the inner circle. And we can come to the first frame, set a keyframe for the radius, and come to the last frame and increase the radius. And of course we need to tweak settings like position and stuff like that, but as you can see, this is what is going to happen. And we can offset the keyframes. So select this circle and offset the keyframes with 15, and if you play it, the camera starts to move a bit later, as you can see. And there are millions of things you can do using this technique. And basically that's it for this type of animation. You can use, for example, different splines. It may be not a circle but a helix, for example, and let's change the radius, the start and the end radius to something smaller, and let's set this to 400, and make like so, and change the radius to 10 maybe. Just tweak it a bit, and let's take our align to spline tag for the camera and set the helix there. And as you can see, you can create some very dynamic camera animations using different shapes like helix, or for example a star, or angon, or you can draw a custom shape. So you can do millions of things. And for the helix we can change the plane as well. So the camera can start at a low angle and start rotate around the center and move up, for example. As you can see, we have the camera at a low angle, but we need to reduce the size of the helix, and we have the camera at a low angle and it starts to rotate and move up. And in this case you are going to need to animate the new object moving up with the camera as well, because otherwise the animation, it's not going to look very cool. So basically that's the idea on how you can animate cameras in Cinema 4D. And you can use other tools like CS tools. There are some very cool camera presets that you can tweak and create interesting animations, but this is a way I found how I can easily animate some cameras for a recent project I did. So that's it. Hope you like this tutorial and it was useful for you. Once again, I'm Stefan for CG Tuts Plus, and we'll see you next time.